Now we already know that there are 3 types of different direct speeches, such as statement, advice or order, or questions, yes, no question, WH or how question. So how do we change these into indirect speech? Let's begin with changing statement. Now we use the examples that we've seen before. Take a look at this one. I love chocolate, Mary said. This is a direct speech, right? So how do we change it into indirect speech? We should first start with the subject, Mary, and then follow with the reporting verb, said. You can add that, but it's optional. You can say Mary said that or Mary said. It's both okay. And then we need to change the sentence in the quotation marks. The original sentence is, I love chocolate. So now we remove the quotation. We need to change something. We cannot put I anymore because it's not you who actually love chocolate. It's Mary who loves chocolate, right? So you need to change the pronoun first. Pronoun. Change from I to she. And then tenses. Because said is already a past tense. So the sentence inside cannot be present tense anymore. We normally move one step backward, the tenses. If it's present tense, we change it into past tense. So love becomes loved. So she loved chocolate. So the rest of the sentence, normally, we don't really need to change. It's the complement. How to complete the sentence, the rest of the sentence. So we just need to put the things back to complete the sentence, okay, the rest of the sentence. So now you can see how we change from a direct speech into indirect speech. Let's repeat. Direct speech is, I love chocolate, Mary said. Indirect speech, we change into, Mary said that she loved chocolate. Let's take a look at another example. He missed the bus this morning, teacher said. Remember, we put the subject and the reporting verb first, so it will become teacher said. That is optional, so you can put teacher said that or teacher said. And then we will change the pronoun or we keep it, so you need to decide depending on the situation. So he had missed, we change the tense from past tense to past perfect tense, one step backward, okay? He had missed the rest of the sentence, the bus. Now, be careful. We have this morning in the original sentence. So if we put it into reported speech, we need to change time. It's no longer this morning because the event happened that morning, but when you report this sentence, you may say it like 2 days later, 2 weeks later. So it's no longer this morning. So for here, we need to change into that morning. So the complete sentence would be, teacher said that he had missed the bus that morning. So this is how we change our normal statement from direct speech into indirect speech. Okay, let's take a look at order and advice now. So how we change order and advice into indirect speech? It's a little bit different from reporting statement because for order or advice, we normally ask somebody to do something. So take a look at this example. Keep quiet, Mom said to us. Of course, we keep the subject and reporting verb, or if you have the object, we keep them first. So like, Mom asked us. But this time, because it's an order or advice, we ask somebody to do something. So you need to add to this word in the indirect speech. Mom asked us to do what? Keep quiet. Basically, just bring the whole sentence into the indirect speech as the rest of the sentence as a complement. Because of to, so we don't need to change the tense of the verb. Because to is normally followed with an infinitive, okay? No s, no es, no ing, nothing, no change, okay? Let me repeat this sentence one more time. Keep quiet, Mom said to us. If you want to change this into indirect speech, it will be Mom asked us to keep quiet. Okay, let's take a look at the second one. You should leave now. This is an order or maybe advice. The security guard said to me. So we put the subject, reporting verb, object, go first. The security guard told me, okay, ask somebody to do something, right? So the security guard told me to leave then. So we'll put the action after the to word, okay? To leave. If you see time, you need to change it. If you see pronoun, if it's appropriate, you need to change it too, okay? So you need to make decision. To leave then. Let me repeat the whole sentence one more time. You should leave now, the security guard said to me. This is direct speech. If you change into indirect speech, it will become, the security guard told me to leave then. So this is how we change an order or advice from direct speech into indirect speech. Okay, now let's move forward to a little bit harder stuff. That is to report a question. Let's start with yes/no question. Take a look at the first sentence. Do you miss me? Mom asked my brother. If you want to change it, we put the subject, the reporting verb, the object to the front first. Mom asked my brother. And then, if you ask yes/no question, remember, you need to add if there. If or whether, okay? If or whether. So it would become, Mom asked my brother if, and then we don't need do. We will remove do, does, did, these words if you see it. Okay? And then you will see changing of pronoun from you to he, and then changing the tense from missed to missed, and then changing the pronoun again from me to her. So the whole sentence will be like, Mom asked my brother if he missed her. You only add if in yes/no question. No other question or statement, okay? Remember, if in yes/no question. So let me repeat this sentence again. In the direct speech, we'll say, do you miss me? Quotation marks. Mom asked my brother. If you change into indirect speech, it will say, Mom asked my brother if he missed her. Alright, let's take a look at another example. Will you have lunch with me? Tom asked. So we put the subject, reporting verb in the front first. Tom asked. And because I know this is a yes/no question, so we will add if inside. Tom asked if I would have lunch with him. We change the pronoun from you become I, and then from future tense into past future, okay? So will become would, okay, would have. The rest of the sentence as complement, just copy it back to the indirect speech, and then change the pronoun if you see appropriate pronoun that need to be changed. Me to him. Alright, so the whole thing is, will you have lunch with me? Tom asked. This is a direct speech. And then we'll change into, Tom asked if I would have lunch with him in indirect speech, okay? This is how we change yes/no question. Remember, adding if in the indirect speech for yes/no question. Okay, the last thing that we need to look at would be changing the WH question from direct speech into indirect speech. Take a look at the first example. What is his name? Eunice asked. Put the subject and reporting verb first. That would be Eunice asked. And then this one, we don't need to add if. No. Okay, only yes/no question. This one, we keep the WH word. So it will be like, Eunice asked what? Alright? And then we will put the subject in the question goes first, okay? We won't say what is his name. We will say what his name was, okay? So it's an inversion. You put the subject back to the front and then put the auxiliary verb afterwards, okay? What his name was. We also need to change the tense. So the whole thing is like, let me repeat. What is his name? Eunice asked. This is direct speech. And then Eunice asked what his name was. This is indirect speech, okay? Let's take a look at the next one. How much is this apple? Joe asked. This is direct speech. We put the subject and reporting verb first. Joe asked. And then we keep the how or WH word, how much. And then we need to put this apple to the front and then is afterwards. But we also need to change the pronoun. This time we don't see pronoun. We see determiner. This, that, these, those. These are determiners. So we'll change them too. From this apple into that apple. So the whole sentence is like, Joe asked how much that apple. And then we change the tense, was, from is to was, okay? Let me repeat this sentence one more time. How much is this apple? Joe asked. This is direct speech. And then it will become, Joe asked how much that apple was. So this is how we change a WH question into a reported speech. Alright? I understand that this is pretty complicated, so always revisit this video to familiarize with how the language form is like of changing from changing direct speech into indirect speech. Alright? So good luck.